There it is. You recording? You ready?
We're ready. We got listeners
You have what? You have listeners already?
already.
Oh, wow. Are they being able to hear it now?
You can still speak to them. Put your headset on,
So-
Stacy, and you can actually talk to whoever's on there right now. I can move you
So,
back.
so you can see who's on there.
Yes, I can.
Okay. So, guys, this is a new deal that we've never done. It's been 2 years in the making, and a friend of mine, Matt, come down here and used to do all this stuff. So he's got it all set up, and it's pretty cool. So, I guess the general. Wow, that sounds pretty. I sound awesome in my headphones.
Do you want to build a little bit of an audience? We've got people from the United Kingdom.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna tell them what this is all about.
Okay, go ahead.
So I've done a lot of live feeds, and you guys all like the live feeds, but you've been after me about doing a podcast forever. We've had all this stuff for a couple years and just never have had the time or somebody to help us get it all set up because I race cars and work on cars. I don't do audio equipment. But Matt's got it all set up, and it's a pretty cool deal. You guys will see we're doing a video on it. We'll post a video later. And
I'm just.
now I see Stacy over there.
Everything's good.
Well, I just like you're bobbing your head over there, so I was wondering what was going on. So I guess since this is a first-time trial deal that we've never done, we'll just open it up. We've got it to where you guys can actually call in. I think Stacy's posted the number. So
You can message questions in too
Oh.
from the chat. I can read those.
so you can message questions in or you can call in.
Yes.
So we'll just open it up that whatever you guys want to ask, whatever you want to know, I'll answer your questions. And if we get somebody that wants to debate or talk about something, that's what we'll do. So, well, we're doing fine adjustments here.
Doug wants to know about the JJ race.
The JJ race, of course. Of course, that's going to be the first one that's going to have everybody in LA calling me bitching. Okay, so, now guys, this is as far as I know, we have not been invited to that race. And here's how I see it, and this is my opinion only. If you're going to have a show called The Fastest Street Cars in America, everybody already knows we got the fastest. So maybe what they're doing is they're building a new show and finding out who the fastest street cars in America are other than the 405. Maybe everybody's tired of hearing about the 405 being faster than everybody else. So we have not been invited. Not saying that that's a personal thing that they're doing. That's got nothing to do with it, guys. It's just at this point in time, we got a lot on our plates, but I am sure, I am positive that we will if it does.
There is your first caller.
All right, got the first caller. Hello.
Yeah, hello?
Yep.
Yo, dog, I'm calling about the note.
What note?
The note you left in my car.
Okay, well, we don't know about this
Well,
guy.
somebody hit my...
Yeah, hang on.
There we go. That's how that works when you call up going, I got a note.
That was
Where's my
somebody-
note?
That was somebody nice enough to call you from prank dial.
Huh?
That was a prank dial call.
Well, that's all right. We know how to fix that.
That's right.
So that's how fast your prank dial goes off. So, you got another question?
Not yet. Linda Husted wants to know when you're sending Stacy
Oh.
to Florida again.
Sending Stacy to Florida. I'm ready to come to Florida. I told you, Misty, in 10 years, I'm coming to Florida. I'm going to come down there and stay. When are you coming to Oklahoma? We've been to Florida. When's Misty coming to Oklahoma?
True.
So we got all these things that's going on today. You've got coronavirus. You got it's getting crazier and crazier, it seems like. But from what I'm seeing, people are actually taking it upon themselves to stay away, to keep things, as sanitary as possible. And like I said in my first deal, we're not a stupid people. We're Americans and we're smart people. And people are already, without being forced, without being told to do something, everybody's doing what they need to do. So I, for one, am proud of everybody but the politicians in the world. Okay, so we still got things going on behind the scenes that it's just confusing me. And when Stacy gets that confused look on her face, I'm even more confused.
No, we're good. We're good. Matt just wanted to watch it as a viewer so he could make sure all of our audio was good.
Oh, he's going to go view it?
Yes, yes. And I did notice somebody was trying to call in through the podcast itself. We don't have that working yet. So if you'll call 405-378-4848, it'll ring right to James. There you go.
There we go. Oh, it's good. It even shows our number.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, Reaper.
Hi.
I just wanted to call and say I really enjoy your post and your wife's. And I think that this crazy stuff is crazy, and I like how you talk.
What's your name?
Crystal clear,
Crystal Clear. Where are you from, Crystal?
North Carolina.
North Carolina. I can tell by that sweet voice. There's nothing sweeter than
Yeah.
a southern drawl. So,
That's right.
it's kind of one of them deals that I'm that character that everybody either loves me or hates me. But one thing about it, I just say what I think on my head. Whether it's right or wrong, I'm not trying to force my opinion on nobody. But I think we're pretty smart people, and I think we can whoop this thing without anybody telling us how to do it. How's it out there? How's everybody's
Yeah.
general feelings, and how's everybody
Good.
reacting?
It seems good. I mean, I see same thing going on, except, drive-through only, 6 feet, social distance at the drive-through, which I don't understand that. But, yeah, just that.
So everybody's
Little
still taking in oxygen, expelling carbon dioxide. So we're all still kicking.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
So
Yep.
what's your opinion on this whole deal? Is it political?
Crazy.
Is it something real?
I think that it's just crazy. I think that the world's crazy right now.
And it truly is.
That's all I can say.
And the sad part is
I
that,
don't want to say.
well, the sad part is the politicians think that we need to be told what to do.
What to do and how to stay in your house and who to talk to and who to yeah.
And that's not what
I
we're
don't like
about.
it.
We're Americans.
No, we're Americans. Yes, that's right.
We live in the greatest country in the entire world. And I hate to see
Yeah.
the agenda that some of these people are pushing, trying to take advantage of it.
Right, because it doesn't feel like America right now.
No, it
Feels
does
like
not.
somebody just trying to push.
But at the same time, Crystal, when I look and I see people doing the social distancing on their own, people taking, you go to the grocery stores, Walmart. I'm not a big fan of Walmart.
Got gloves and masks.
But they're the first ones to put gloves, masks, disinfectant. We don't need somebody telling us how to do this. All we need is the guidelines on what needs to be done, and we can do what we need to do. That's my opinion.
Right. That's right. That's right.
Well, Crystal, we certainly appreciate you calling in, and tell everybody in North Carolina, which is one of my favorite places to go, tell everybody be safe and tune in.
Yes. Yes, I will. Come to Clayton and race.
All right.
What I would like.
Thank you, Crystal.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Uh-huh. Bye.
Still have new people joining us. And if you try once and it's busy, just call right back as soon as James hangs up. I don't have a call queue set up yet.
Well, I think that's I have a feeling that's going to be our general consensus of people, that everybody just thinks this is crazy. Well, Brantley's coming in. All right, son, we're right in the middle of doing the podcast, so you got to go play in the office. Oh, come here and give me a kid of sugar.
What do you think of the limits for the big block Chevy with a Pro Charger?
I think they're awesome because I run a big box Chevrolet and a Pro Charger. The thing with that there's a lot of people. Oh, hang on, we got a caller. Go ahead.
Oh, hey.
Hey,
Do you know who this is?
I absolutely do not, but why don't you tell me?
Oh, my God. I'm your
Oh
favorite
my
person in
God.
Arizona.
Now there's only one person that says, "Oh my God." And let's see, what's her name? Fred? No. Bill? No, Randy. This this
I
Randy?
don't know. I just wanted to see what you were. Yeah, I just wanted to see what you were doing.
What do you mean? You know what I'm doing? I'm on a podcast. What are you doing? What's going on in Arizona?
It's
Has-
warm.
Has the world ended?
No,
Oh, Arizona's still
We're
above
still
board
alive.
and everybody doing okay, huh?
what?
Everybody's doing okay, huh?
Yeah, we're all still alive. Phil had surgery on last Monday on his arm.
Oh, was he okay?
Yeah.
This is Randy, by the way, guys, at PRK Automotive, who put the orange 69 Yenko 2.0 car together that here pretty quick we're going to actually have completely finished and debut it.
What? What?
What? Oh,
That's
it's
amazing.
oh
I'm so
it
excited.
wait till you see the interior in this car now. I did something.
Good.
I came up with an idea that I guarantee you no Camaro's ever been done like it. But it is
Cool.
bad to the bone. You'll
Is
see
it
it
like
before
the
everybody
Indian
else does.
house?
I'll send you guys the video of it.
Yeah, well, I would hope so.
Absolutely.
I mean, I gotta feel a little love around here.
Oh, Randy, you always feel love. I mean, look
Nuh-uh.
at
You
it.
called me
Phil
in
puts
so
up with you
long.
every day. He is a bad man and never says a word. But then again, he never says a word to anybody hardly.
That's true.
All right, Randy. Well, give my boy Blue Ball
I will.
all the static in the world, and thanks for calling and listening.
All right. See you later.
See you, Randy. What was that question I was answering when the call came in?
You were talking about the big block Chevy weights with ProCharger.
Big block Chevrolet weights with ProCharge. Okay, so the whole reason a big block Chevrolet is that much lighter than a 481X. Reaper runs 4.0s. I ain't hid that from nobody. How long it can do that without blowing to pieces, who knows? I've got it. I've got that thing. The 581 is about at its limit. I can't go any faster with it. If we turn it up much more, it's going to start splitting the block. So there is why the weights, if that's what you're asking, why are the weights different than a Hemi or a 481X? It's not that a big block Chevrolet can't make the power of them motors. Pretty hard to touch a Hemi, but it can make the power. It just won't live doing it. I run big block Chevrolets because that's what I've always ran. Another question?
Somebody said you have 80 pounds in your headers almost, in the Zoomies
Yes,
on Reaper.
absolutely. 39.5 pounds apiece. So when I was not even going to build Zoomies for the other car until we started measuring the length of the pipe, and I figured out that Zoomies don't weigh no more than the bullhorns if it's a reasonable length. But the way the front end's done on that car, because it was a 10.5 Outlaw car, and the way the frame all ties together, the way Chris Terry had to do the front end, there's a lot of pipe. You know what, Stacy, one day we need to measure how long each one of those tubes are. It's probably 4.5 feet long, each tube.
At least, because the straight pipes are 4.
I don't think so. But I mean, all together with the bends and all, I think they're 4.5 feet each pipe, which a normal Zoomie's 3.
How did you get into street racing?
How did I get into street racing? I got into street racing because my dad was a street racer. I remember when I was a kid, my dad had a 65 Chevy short bed pickup with a 427 square port head, 427, 2 4s, had a turbo 400 with what back then was a Kenny Bell switch pitch converter. And my dad would leave every Friday night. I would watch my dad going out. One of his buddies would come over and they'd jump in that truck and they'd go out looking for a race. So I always, and the few times that we did before my dad's accident and he got paralyzed, we would go to the race. I watched him run that truck one time. Now, this is in like 1976, and this 65 short, but at Tulsa, he ran the track when we were up there working on a friend of his Top Fuel dragster. It wasn't a Top Fuel dragster. Guy later went to a Top Fuel car that I helped on for a little bit. Rick Sherrill, who's passed away, is not with us no more. But it was, my dad raced that truck, ran that truck one time, and it ran like 1196. And back then, for a Chevy, full-size Chevy short bed pickup, everybody was amazed. But that was the first time anybody ever found out how fast that truck was. And back then, that was a rocket ship. But that's how I got in street racing.
What's better for Pro Charger, Bullhorn or Zoomies?
Pro Chargers love Zoomies. And Zoomies, to me, are better all the way around. If you guys watch the video that we did on Reaper, I've always had a problem with that car about 400 feet out. It always tried to skate the tire. That car did not, and it didn't matter how much downforce we put in the wing. It just always, I had to drive the car. We put the Zoomies on it after Nick and Richard Bruder wanted to do that. Eliminate that problem. Oh, we got another caller. Hello.
Hi, James.
Yes.
Hey, this is Tony DiNapoli calling.
Tony DiNapoli. All right. How's it going, Tony? I'm glad you
I'm
called.
doing all right. I don't know if you know this, but if you call that other number, it gives you this phone number. The whole world's going to have your phone number in a minute.
Call what other number?
It's the one that you posted on Facebook.
Oh yeah, it's a random number.
Yeah, but it gives me this number, which I don't know if you want out or not, but
No, that's what I'm saying. It's a random number. It's a
okay.
computer generated number. It's just temporary number. It'd be a different number every time. You don't think I would
I
actually
thought
use
for a minute-
my cell phone and use my cell phone on this, do you, Tony?
okay, I'm just saying I didn't dial that number on Facebook to reach you just now.
Which one did you dial?
It ends in 69.
Okay. I don't even know what the number is to this phone, but this isn't my personal cell phone.
Okay, I thought it was phoning people in the voice message and giving out your personal number. I'm like, I don't know if it's phoned into this real number or what, but
Okay. Well, I
It'll
appreciate
be-
that,
it'll-
Tony.
It'll be different next time.
Yeah.
Are you doing the podcast? Probably not yet,
Hey,
right?
you're on the podcast right now.
Oh, I am.
Yep. So, Tony, let me
I
ask you
got
a
a bunch of
question.
questions.
I
Okay, go
twisted off earlier, and I shouldn't have because I was actually upset with the guy before you that made the comment. And you're a top fan. You've been commenting on my page for a long time. So once again, I'm going to apologize because I twisted off pretty hard. I hope you didn't even see that little video I did. But I took it immediately
I
down. And you're into politics, right?
Well, no, not necessarily.
I
have
know-
to tell you about this comment.
I know
got
nothing
confession.
about politics. My brother is into politics. I am not into politics. I'm just into seeing stupid shit. I don't like
Yeah.
it. So everything that I said was my opinion. Now, I did do a lot of research on this coronavirus, where it started and all of that. And I'll tell everybody something that nobody's going to believe this, but this is a fact. After PRI, a bunch of people got sick. I got sick and was in bed for 6 weeks. And when we went to the doctor, Stacy got sick, Matt got sick, I got sick. 2 weeks, they were done. It took me 2 weeks to even be able to get out of bed and go to the doctor. And the doctor said, "You got the flu." Told Stacy that, told Matt that. We all tested negative for the flu. But I believe it's coronavirus because the problem I had where I didn't recover is I have asthma. So
Yeah.
it put me down it took me 2 months to get over it. 2 months.
Yeah.
And a lot of people got sick after PRI. And if you think about this, when they have SEMA in November, a lot of people come into SEMA from all over the world, China, everywhere.
I think
Then
I
they
think
go
it's
to
been here a lot
PRI.
longer than we think.
Yes, I believe that to be true because, like I said, as soon as that doctor see me, he goes, he said, "I'd say you got the flu, but then again, ain't nobody else in your house had it." But he put it down. He said, "I don't know what it is. It just must be a bronchial infection." And I still take breathing treatments behind it.
Yeah, that's what scares me about it because I'm only 50, but I also am heart and lung at risk.
Well, I have asthma, and I'm not gonna lie, dude. It knocked my dick in the dirt. It jacked me up.
That's why I keep saying, stay home, stay home.
But I did recover. I'm fine. I use the breathing treatments now just for. Well, I'm also an idiot and a hardhead. You know, the doctor told me 6 years ago, is that what they said, Stash? That I had asthma, and of course I told the doctor I can't have. I mean, hell, I'm too tough to have asthma. Asthma's a weakness. I can't have asthma. So I didn't do myself any justice over not treating my asthma, but now I do. But yeah, that deal, I am convinced it was that coronavirus because they actually got the first cases in the United States back in October. And because of a
I
comment,
know a bunch of people.
Go ahead, Tony.
I know a bunch of people that think they had it in the end of June.
Well, and see, I have also gotten messages behind that. I haven't said that thing. I was going to do a video and have my breathing machines and all that stuff, but everything, all the symptoms of that coronavirus we had, and all of us tested negative for the flu. But, you know, like
I really just hope they start doing that mass testing, because if they could test to see who had it, those people are very unlikely to get it again. And those people can go back to the workforce and get back to that economy, and we don't have to do this all shelter in place. We could put certain people on the front lines, you know?
This is why I was hoping you would call in. You have a great point there. Matter of fact, Stacy, Dr. Wong, I didn't get an appointment with him.
I think they're afraid of the numbers. He doesn't want to put numbers, because if you start testing everybody, the numbers are going to go crazy. But I believe those numbers are already there. It's been around. We all have it. Those numbers exist. Whether they put them on, we got to test.
Well,
You're right.
I went a step further. I didn't look at CDC. I went on WHO's, the World Health Organization, because I thought, you know what? Some people want to skew numbers their way or that way. That's one of the things that everybody knows me for. If it's something, if I think it's a fact, I'll state a fact. If I know it's not a fact, I'll say, hey, what's your opinion on this? This is my opinion. But I know one thing. There was a lot of people that came back from PRI that was sick. Probably 30 or 40% of the people. And it sure seems funny that in January, and these were the numbers that I was looking at that we talked about, or you'd made the comment on. When I went to that WHO, it has every country broke down, how many reports, how many deaths, all that. The thing is, Tony, I don't know if you know what the flu statistics were for California, but 169 people died in the month of January and February from the common flu in California. That's the thing. It's not that this thing's bad. It is bad. And it's going to attack the older people. I know what it did to me. I'm 50 years old. But I don't think that it's a reason to crash our economy. Do you?
I don't think it has to necessarily.
Because
if we do it right or do it smart. And if it does a little bit, then it's a free economy. I'm not really concerned at all about Boeing going under. I'm really not.
About who going
provide
under?
jobs. Then there'll be another Boeing or any of those big corporations. Let another corporation step up. Who's worried about your construction going under?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Hey, here's the thing. I'm not about big business.
Not the big corporation.
I'm about all these little small businesses that are going to go under. Like I said, that friend of mine's at that restaurant. Man, I've watched this guy bust his ass for 10 years. He started with nothing. Got hooked up with my banker to get him a start. And he's just now, he's $1.2 million from $8 million to being out of debt, all his stores paid for, and be able to actually enjoy everything he done. And he told me, he said, if they passed the law where they were trying to get all the employers to keep them on for so long, he said, if they do that, dude, he said, I got 45 days and I'm bankrupt. I won't be able to reopen my doors. That's what kills me. It's not that, Boeing going under, that ain't going to happen. The airlines are all going to get bailouts. Every one of them is going to get bailouts.
I've been out of work a week. I don't need a check yet. Why does Boeing need a check already?
Boeing already needs a check?
Huh?
I'm not up on this Boeing thing. I've been reading more about the coronavirus, but what's the deal with Boeing? Boeing saying they need money?
I'm saying Boeing as an example for any of those big corporations.
Okay, yeah.
When they're debating on this bill last night and they're arguing over who's going to control the corporations, why are the corporations even in this bill at this stage of the game?
Absolutely.
How are any of them hurting at this point?
Absolutely. I agree with that.
That's what I'm saying.
Unless it is a corporation that has 1,800 employees that they've had to lay off, and they're looking for money to be able to keep people working, bailing somebody out. I've never believed in bailouts. I've never had a bailout. I don't know what that feels like.
Don't get bailouts.
I have never got a bailout in my life. I think maybe you got the bailout I should have got, Tony. Did you ever get a bailout?
No, and I've only run 5 businesses. Nobody's ever bailed me out. When things went bad, my businesses went out of business, and that's how the system works.
Well, and that is the thing. Let me get your opinion. I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican. Like I said, I'm not affiliated with either one. What has Trump done this? But you keep up with it. You keep up with it more than I do because you read the whole bill. And I'm going to read it. When I started reading it and I got about 6 pages in and seen something stupid, I just lost my shit. But
Now I read it, but I am half blind and not highly educated. But I did read it.
well, here's the thing: common sense is a superpower. I don't know if you realize that, but it truly is. So,
That's what I realized.
what has Trump done that's so bad that these Democrats want him out so bad?
What is what?
What has Trump done that's so bad that these Democrats want him out so bad?
Oh man, I had a heart attack last year. I can't have another one this year over that guy.
Oh, so you are a Trump supporter?
I'm not
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm not a fan of Trump. I believe that the entire party during that impeachment wiped his ass with the Constitution and threw everything I ever fucking believed in right out the window. I hate them all.
You hate all politicians or all?
This man clearly broke the law, and they put him above the law, and that I was done after that.
Well, that's the thing. If you have money, you have power. And I will admit this. I will be the first one to admit this. When my 55 got stolen, I probably shouldn't say this on a podcast, but I'm going to. When I recovered the car, they wanted me to let them take the car and impound it, or well, actually take it and fingerprint and all that. I said, you guys ain't taking my car. Period. End of story. And I told them, I said, I don't give a shit if you get the Pope down here. You're not taking my car. And my brother, who used to be a deputy sheriff, told me, he goes, wow. I said, I promise you, dude. I promise you. If I wasn't on that TV show, they would not have let me get away with this. So I do understand, and I've gotten out of tickets before. I've never used it, but people in a place of public eye do get things, and I don't think that's fair. I truly don't. I think everybody is equal. I don't care what color you are, what race you are. You're a Democrat, Republican. I think if you're an American, you got the same rights as every other American.
It's a class issue. To me, it's not about race. It's about class. Those that have and those that have not.
Well, and that's the thing.
I-
Until the day that we
I
abolish
identify-
government, and I don't know that any of us are smart enough to do a better job, but I can't see we can do worse.
We can take the. I'd like to get. I don't mind the system. I know it's not perfect. I'd like to get the corruption out of it.
Well, see,
Just clean it up.
that was one of the things that my brother that's into politics said that Trump was doing that was positive, was going after the corruption. Is that true or false, in your opinion?
What's that?
That Trump was going after some of the corruption in the system?
No, I believe he just used the whole thing as one giant checkbook. I think he's one of the most corrupt guys I've ever laid eyes on. I've followed him since the 80s when he was in boxing. I'm 50 years old. I grew up with Trump on TV every week on some talk show or doing it. He's always been faking it. He never really made it. He's always been bullshit to me.
Well,
He's
the
a
thing
con
is,
man.
I'm
That's
the same
what
age
he's
as you.
about.
I'm 50 years old. I didn't know who the fuck Trump was until he became president, to be honest with you.
This guy couldn't make a casino work except to.
Well, the thing is, this guy's got
except
bad
to be
hair.
all-
If he's got bad hair, he's not going to catch my attention other than I'm going to make a crack about his bad hair.
Listen, since you brought up this hair, I have to ask you about this because I have a weird obsession with your hair.
Okay? Most people do. Go ahead.
To watch your hair, I feel like if we gave you a crew cut tomorrow, in about 10 days, you would need a haircut, right?
Yes. My hair grows
It
very,
looks
very
like you
fast.
need to grow extremely fast.
And I have a full head of hair. Now, there are times on the
Oh, I
show.
think you do.
There are times on the show because when we okay, you guys have seen an episode. We have what they call OTFs. The OTFs.
Oh, no, that's all edited. But I see you live on Facebook, and I can almost see it grow by the hour.
Yeah, that's why Stacy says that chia pet thing. She even did a video of it one time. But yes, it and the friends of mine that can't grow hair, it pisses them off when I shave my head. Brent Austin that drives the Megalodon car, he tells me every time I shave my head, he says, "You suck. Why would you cut your hair if you could grow hair?" I just wake up in a different world every day, twice if I take a nap. But yes.
I told I said, that guy's got like the fountain of youth for hair on his head. I'm
Yes.
like, you could almost watch it grow while he's talking.
Oh, yeah. My hair grows really fast. And the people that, like I said, anybody that's bald, when they see me when I've got my head shaved, and I do the same thing. I let it grow out in the winter. In the spring, I shave it. And it is funny because if somebody sees me in the wintertime, they're like, "Oh, dude, you're such a dick. You can grow hair and you shave your head. Why?" It's just something I do. And another reason I do it, and this is no lie, for the most part, I have the best fans, I believe, in the world. I've got 97,000 people that follow me. I've never boosted a post. I've never done any of that. All of you guys that follow my page actually, and a lot of them have met me or seen me or something. And my fans will defend me to the end. But there are some that are not, they are fans, but they're obsessed with that, with somebody being on TV. And there are times if I shave my head during the spring or something, I can walk around. If I don't talk, I can get around anywhere. But one day we were up in New Hampshire. I guess I got a pretty distinct voice. So, and I hollered at Brantley. I said, Brantley, come here, dude. And all of a sudden I heard, Reaper? I went, what? 3 hours away, a guy heard me talking and said, that's Reaper. Reaper's in here. So when I go in stores, if I'm in a hurry, I try not to talk.
Yeah, I used to run a slot car track on a Friday evening. After shaving my head and my beard and mustache, I went in there and I walked around for 10 minutes. Not until I opened my mouth did somebody go, holy shit, I realized it was me in there.
It is kind of funny how you can slide around with that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Tony,
And now I have to.
Go ahead.
I have one more question, though.
Okay.
And I have to make a confession because you say I'm a top fan and I say positive things that I do. But the circumstances on which I found you was not exactly all that positive.
Oh, I imagine. I imagine there was something you were pissed off and went to follow my page to talk shit.
Probably, well, I wasn't pissed off.
Probably 30%, 35, 40% of my fans hated me when they came on and then they started watching the page.
It was, I got turned on to you from I watched the show, obviously, but from the podcast. The original podcast.
The one that I was on?
Yes.
Okay.
So my wife says if I get on the phone, she says, you be sure to ask him, did he ever pay McDougal that punk out money?
Never what? Hey, let's get something straight. That race was never set up. When Chief said, I'll get the road, I'll get this, I'll get that, he never finished that deal, guys. He never got the road. We never set a date. Never. The whole reason McDougal went after me is because that was Chief's boy. And he did that because Chief was prodding him. In actuality, Justin McDaniels is not a bad guy. But that deal between he and I almost got down to being a bad, very, very bad deal. But we never set the race.
Well, that is how I ended up following your page was I came to troll you like I was told to. And then I said, well, it's not so bad.
Well, here's the thing. Everybody thought, and that's the thing, the guy that, he didn't even own that car, right?
Oh, I didn't know that much about it. I just thought it was funny.
The car he was wanting to race, the guy didn't own. And the guy found out he was out testing that car at night and went and took the car back. So that was the thing. When Monty Smith, his dad passed away, and I went down there to pick up my car, and Monty's dad had passed away, and he's working on my car, and he hadn't even cleaned the stuff out of his dad's, where his dad lived in assisted living. I said, Monty, stop on the car. Let's go take care of your dad's stuff. So that's what we did instead of working on the car. But there was never a date. Nobody ever set it up. We were supposed to do it at B&R. I was ready. Nobody ever said it. And Chief played that. He played that intentionally. He did exactly what he wanted to do to turn people against me. And the thing is, even the show. Excuse me. I have not watched the show in 158 episodes.
Oh, man.
I do not watch the show. I do not watch the show. I do not watch No Prep Kings. I don't watch it because here's the thing. If I watch that show, it's going to taint the way I see everybody, and I don't want to do that. Whatever they say, because you don't know what they say. You don't know what they actually said and how it got edited, and I'm not saying they put words in people's mouth, but sometimes they put words in people's mouth.
Well, they pretty much put words in people's mouth. They cut it up and rearrange it pretty good. You can see it happening.
Oh, yeah, they can, and they're good at it. But the whole deal with Chief and I goes back way before a TV show.
Yeah.
So, Tony, this is Stacy.
Are you going to cover why you didn't make it?
Hold on, Stacy. Huh? Stacy wants to say something to you, Tony.
Just to clarify something, you started on our page as a troll and became a fan?
Well, yeah, of course. I'm a race fan anyway, so I'm going to be any racer.
And the greatest part is there's a lot of people that once they've actually watched my live feeds or I've been at an appearance and they've met me in person. Matter of fact, when we were at Idaho, lady turns around and I'm at 6 o'clock in the morning. I get up at 2, 3 o'clock every morning. So I'm out driving around, and I'm going down checking the racetrack and all that. Well, everybody's asleep. Got my little meter out there where nobody sees me do it, and checking everything out. Lady stops me. I stop at one of the gates. It's about 6 o'clock, and she goes, "Eureka!" I said, "Hi, how you doing?" I shook her hand, took a picture with her and all that. A little bit later, her husband comes up. He goes, "Who was that?" She said, "That was Reaper." "Oh, he's an asshole." She said, "He is not. He's a very nice gentleman," which I thought was pretty funny because she drug her husband down to the pits and said, "You meet him and then call him that." And I'm like, oh, God, here we go. I thought somebody's going to pump their nuts up and say something to my face. And he was like, "Man, I watched the show." I said, "Well, congratulations, because I haven't watched it at that time in 148 episodes. And when he left, he looked at his wife. He goes, "He really is a nice guy," which I'm not a nice guy, but I'm a good guy. So there's a lot of people that have started coming to troll the page and stuff like that have ended up following this page and being a fan of the page.
Well, it was Stacy that helped, to be honest with you.
Do what?
It was Stacy that really helped.
The biggest thing, Stacy's always been on the page from day one. From day one.
She was the biggest. She made it easy to be a fan because my mom has like 7 sisters from Southern Illinois, and she sounds like every one of my aunts.
Well, I tell you what, if I ever turn Stacy loose on this, you guys won't be on the page because you say one negative. Oh, Stacy bites her tongue, and I tell her don't play into it because when somebody makes a comment about me not being able to drive, it sets her ass afire. Because here's the thing, I can drive a car with any swinging weenie out there. And and I will put that car in the street against anybody at any time. I have never backed down from a race. But boy, if somebody makes them comments, Stacy gets livid. She twisted off on one video. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but she twisted off on one that I didn't even know about till after the fact. But she
reminds me of my 7 favorite aunts.
Well, she's my biggest fan, and she defends me to the death, as most of my fans do. So, Tony, we appreciate the fact that you called in and appreciate your opinions. And thank you, buddy.
All right, you take care now, all right?
All right. Thanks, Tony.
All right, bye-bye.
That's kind of funny. Started the page as a troll.
I love it.
Huh?
I love that.
Well, it's like I told you. All that stuff and the TV and all that, like I've always told everybody, if you want to make a call against me, you like me or dislike me, I really don't give 2 shits about it. But if you meet me and then you think I'm still a dick, well, then I probably am. You got questions?
Eric from Venezuela wants to know if the 574 is in Reaper, what motor's going in the new car?
Ooh, I almost answered his question on Facebook. I'm glad I didn't now. The 574 is going back in the new car. I put the 574. Here's the thing with the 574. Since we built that motor, the first couple times we made passes in it, it was pushing the head gaskets. So Scott Duggins at Par, it pushed the head gaskets. I changed them. We surfaced the head. We checked everything out. Scotty actually added a head bolt on all 4 corners, or a head stud. And I haven't made, other than with small tires on the orange car, I haven't made any real passes in it. So the reason it went in Reaper was I thought, you know what, the 581 is going back in Reaper because that motor's too much for the street anyway. But the whole idea was to take it to Tucson, run the car, test the motor during the qualifying deal just to see how it did before I put it back in the other car. But the 574 will go back in the new car. Got another one? Wish I had one of them DJ voices. Now on Rock 31313. What?
Do you miss nitrous? And have you ever thought of going turbo full time?
Guys, this is something that most of you don't know unless you follow the page. I have a twin turbo car. I have blower cars. I have supercharged cars. And I still have a nitrous car. My 756 out of Reaper right now, if you guys have seen the boys at HP Racing, Ozzy and Manny, they have the Monty Smith Memorial car down at their shop, and it is almost done, and it has the 756 out of Reaper in it, and I'm going to drive that car on drag week with the 756. I'm a nitrous guy. I've always been a nitrous guy, but it's about power. Whatever power works in that application, I still think a nitrous car, the right nitrous car at No Prep Kings, matter of fact, Larry Larson and I talked about it one time, And he said, if we ever get a nitrous car at those weights to come in here with somebody that knows what they're doing, everybody's going to be in trouble. Well, look what happened. Pat Musey shows up, and nitrous cars start coming around. It's the application of power. Well, as Brent Austin once put it, everything is about the coefficients of drag of the tire versus the surface it's on. Some power adders work better on different surfaces. I still have nitrous cars. I have a twin turbo car. Well, my brother's Nova's twin turbo car, so we have every power adder in this family that you can get.
That was a kind of a two-part question and statement. He's wanting to know, am I wrong when I say that it feels like a Pro Charger versus turbo? Pro Charger, front half's harder. Oh, the feet.
Front half's harder and turbo runs better on the
On
back.
the top end, yeah.
Absolutely. And the reason that Pro Charger has never been the threat that they've been now here lately is that 140 makes a charge on the big end. So with the 136, you are absolutely correct. A nitrous car and a Pro Charger car, a turbo car cannot leave with them. Very, very few can. Let me say that. Let me say very few can. They short time. Reaper runs 260s in the short times. I mean, it's stupid fast in the 330, and it's sub 160 foots everywhere it goes, even on a no prep. So you're absolutely correct. The two fastest short time combinations is nitrous and Pro Charger. Oh, we have a caller. Hello. Hello. Well, we don't have a caller.
Tell us about what other businesses do you have?
Oh my
besides
goodness,
Reaper?
that question about where I get my money again?
No, it's tell us about your business. And somebody said, what kind of construction do you do?
Okay, we do commercial steel buildings, metal buildings, big ones, and we do structural steel. About 85% of what we do is build schools. Oklahoma, one thing that Oklahoma has done, we've never had our economy crushed because of the taxpayers, because of the voters. They pushed to have our schools improved, and I'm very proud of the state of Oklahoma for what they've done improving these schools for our kids because they are our future. And my construction company has never seen a downside because of that. But that's the construction we do. Structural steel and big commercial metal buildings.
Okay.
Pick a question. Okay, you got any more questions? You know, everybody can hear you going 42 minutes.
Oh, no, I didn't. I was trying to.
Yeah, they're that sensitive.
I didn't realize that.
Okay, so you got any more? Okay, we got another caller. Hello.
Well, hello.
Hello. Oh, I know that voice.
You know that voice?
Sounds like Misty.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
Well, the burning question down here is, do y'all have plenty of toilet paper?
Yes, we do. And if you watch
We
that
do
Reaper
too.
video when I put that fire mask on, I told them if I run out of toilet paper, this is what somebody's going to see.
I hear you.
What I want to know
We're
is,
guarding ours with AR-15s.
I want to know what is the big deal with the toilet paper.
Dang
I
if
saw your
know.
picture and it looked like a panic room. There were about 50 rolls hanging on the walls.
Well, I wasn't worried about myself. You know, it's keeping my mother, my children, my employees. You know, first off, keeping the business going. Second off, keeping everybody with what they need. So, but we're doing good.
Well, of course
And
you
I
are.
guess our business is going to be okay because they consider us an essential business doing burials.
That's true.
Have they closed all the non-essential businesses in Florida?
Everything is drive-through only. Just about all the retail stores are closed. All the little restaurants have to do takeout. And, I mean, there's just so many small businesses down here that they're not going to make it through this. I mean, I feel like this is just
I'm going to tell everybody
the
real quick,
economy
Misty, I'm
to-
going to tell everybody who you are. When I was at Galat and I'm at the gym and I see the disaster that happened at the hurricane, and I don't remember what the name of the hurricane was.
Michael.
All right, Hurricane Michael. Misty, I went and bought. We we filled the car trailer. I sent the car back with somebody else, and we filled the trailer full of groceries to go do that because it was honestly. Everybody thinks I did it for them, but I needed that. Stacy and I needed that for each other and our relationship more than what people understood. And I wanted to do something that had nothing to do with a damn car. So we didn't even know what we were going to do. I was actually just going to drive till I seen somebody that needed it and offload it. But Misty turned around and sent us a message and told us about the little town they're in. What's that town?
Marianna,
Florida.
Marianna, Florida.
And she said, this is one of the towns that gets forgotten, and that's how we met Misty and became very good friends with her. Matter of fact, Stacy stayed out there and helped for a while and lived with Misty. And she's probably the one that has given Stacy the most frank, abrupt, and honest marital advice that anybody ever has. And Misty helped a lot. So you are the most common sense. And here's the other thing. You guys are hearing a female version of Reaper.
Exactly.
Because she's just like me. So what's your opinion on this, Misty? Is it political?
Well,
is it really a threat? Or is it Memorex?
Listen, it is absolutely political. I mean, yes, the virus is very dangerous, and yes, we should all wash our hands, and we should all use common sense. And we should use our social distancing, but is the measures we're taking going to be worth the economic fallout that
devastation
we're have? I mean, well,
it's devastation.
The backbone of this country is Small Business USA.
Yep.
I mean, you know, it's the little guys that make all these little towns and all these little economies. You think how many small businesses are in these little towns, and I'm telling you, you know, we're not over the hurricane. You know, there's still tarps everywhere you see. I mean, you know, our economy is so depressed from that. It's just, I mean, this is just like the second kick in the gut for us.
Misty, are you political? Do you follow political parties or any of that stuff?
I follow Jesus. I don't follow the
non-politician.
Now, listen, you know, I'm with you. I've been in business 23 years. I do better when a Republican is in office. I like Trump. He's a businessman. I wish he'd get off of Twitter, and I wish he'd hush and act like a president. But as far as the job he's done more for the economy in the few years that he's been in office than any of the others did in 2 terms. You know, the economy was great until
yes.
Mr. Corona arrived.
Yes, it was. And my brother Gerald, he's into politics. So I asked him, and Gerald will argue with a stump and usually win. So I asked him, what exactly has he done that's so bad? He said, he hadn't. He said, that's the thing. He said, they just, and when he explained to me how Trump is, he doesn't go the way everybody wants him to go. He says what he thinks when he thinks it. He has an opinion, and he states his opinion. He don't take no shit off anybody. Kind of sounds like somebody else we all know. So I can't see that he's a bad guy behind what he's done when the economy was doing fantastic. So my brother explained to me the only way they would get a standing president out is something like the economy crashes or a bad negative war. So I would hope
they've already done everything they could to get him out of office.
Yep.
I mean,
hey, you remember back after PRI when Stacey?
The day he announced he was running, I was like, this has got to be a joke. There's no way on earth that man is going to run for president. You know, honestly, I thought he was too smart to run.
Well, yeah, you remember back after PRI when Stacey and I and Matt all got real bad sick?
Yeah.
Just so happens every one of those symptoms was exactly, and me having asthma was a contributing factor. It took me almost 8 weeks to be able to get back around, but I didn't die. And after 4 weeks, I was actually up and doing something. It just, I mean, it knocked me down pretty good, but I'm convinced that's what we had because everybody at PRI. Probably 40% of the people at PRI got sick.
Well, how many people have died from the flu this year?
In the state of California, since January, 167. That's the statistic that I looked at, and I was like, hold up. In California, in 2 months, 167 people died from the flu? I actually had all that pulled up, and the
But what I'm saying
statistics
is
of how
every
many...
year more people die.
Yes.
More people die from the flu than what has died worldwide over this.
And you're
so far.
absolutely correct.
You know.
But we're in a
And
pandemic.
the other thing is if they have a corona vaccine for cows, what the heck?
Well,
You know, get one for humans.
I still believe it's conditioning, just like they did with gas. They run the price up, everybody screams and hollers, they run it back down. I honestly believe, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist or any of that, I 100% do believe that this is conditioning to see if the American people would fall for it. And sadly, we have. But I do think we are also one of the most resilient people in the world. And when everybody started talking about martial law, come on. You don't turn around and call martial law on a bunch of hillbillies, rednecks, and all of us, because we're not going to take it. So they did not have the balls to pull that one off. But if they do this on this deal, what's the next one they're going to do? That's what worries me. And the fact that I'm raising my grandson in a world that politics can turn around and cripple what was a booming economy.
It's amazing. I mean, I won't even look at my stock accounts because I just don't want to know.
Well, now would be the time to buy, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm just not looking.
China's probably buying a lot right now. That's the other thing that worries me.
Are you stockpiling race fuel?
Oh, no.
Stockpile.
Oh, no. And that's the thing. Oil's down to $20. A friend of mine said the oil, he said, man, it's $20 a barrel. It was $20 a barrel back when I started driving, back when gasoline was 59 cents. So where the hell's that 59-cent gasoline at?
I don't
know. If it's $20 a barrel, like it was back in the early 80s when I started driving, then where's that cheap gas at?
I saw diesel for $1.79, and I can't remember the last time I saw it that cheap.
Did you?
A long time, yes.
So gas prices. Here's the thing, guys. Believe it or not, I go from my house to my shop, and that's basically all I do. So I don't even know what gas prices are, and I didn't know what they were back when I pull up to a pump. I just put fuel in it because, to me, alcohol and fuel are the two things you're never going to buy more than you're going to use of. Did we lose Misty?
I'm here.
Oh, there you are. So, maybe that's going to be the thing. Maybe if we take if it actually 1,000% started in China, then maybe we take the money that we owe China and tell them, you know what, guys, you caused this, so here's your fine for doing it. We don't owe you $1 trillion no more, and bam, we just turn around and put it right back in our economy. I think we'd do good after that. And I could see Trump pulling some shit like that, couldn't you?
I could too, and that was my theory. They ought to be penalized for what they sent us.
Absolutely. Hey, if I screw up, I get penalized. Do you?
Oh yeah.
And by the way, how many bailouts have you ever had?
0.
Oh,
never had a dime of unemployment or government assistance, and I paid for my child when he was born because I worked. So I didn't get no help. Not one food stamp, not any of the WIC or any of that stuff. Of course, I'm told that I still enjoy government benefits because I drive on the roads, but I feel like I paid for those roads.
That's a government benefit? I swear every time I pay my taxes, I'm paying for that. That's what I thought taxes went for. Maybe taxes go for jets and private airlines and stuff like that. I don't know. Well, Misty, it is awesome that you called in. And when are you coming to Oklahoma? Flights are cheap right now, and the planes are as clean as they've ever been. You can fly up here and back round trip for $58. And you know,
I don't get to see you in April in Georgia.
Nope.
Not till June.
Yep. Sadly, that's true.
Well, I changed my reservation, and I guess y'all got me on the cruise then, so I'll be there to hand you wrenches or whatever.
Awesome. Misty, thank you for calling in, and you need to come see us.
Come visit us
Okay,
soon.
we love you guys.
Love
you
Stay
too.
safe. Bye-bye.
Bye. That is a very, very independent woman right there. You still got people asking questions? Let's answer some questions.
No, I haven't. Let's see. What's the boost difference between the 136 and the 140?
About 7-8 pounds is what I've noticed. On the same identical motor with the 136 makes about 42 to 44. That same 140 will make 48 to 52. Killing Brantley over there not being able to talk. What else you got, Stacy?
I don't have any more.
Okay, guys. Well, we got hung up with a couple callers, but I don't know if we got anywhere. But we will post a video of the podcast later. I don't know what to tell them on this one on Facebook. We always say like it, share it, whatever. But this is the start of what we're going to do every week. We're going to do one of these podcasts. So I guess we will sign out of here for now, and we will see you or talk to you next week. Actually, you guys will probably be seeing, there's some videos fixing to come out where Stacy and I go out street racing last night. And let me tell you something. She plays like JJ. She played Chases a Race and damn near outran my silver truck in my Joe Gibbs truck. When you guys see this video and see what she pulled, I'm telling you, I'm fixing to put her in a car and send her down to JJ because she is a cheater.
It was fun.
Yeah, she was a cheater. But when the truck went sideways, she did not get out of it. She stayed in it. So I was pretty proud of that. All right, guys, thanks for calling in. Thanks for listening. We'll grow this thing. We'll get everybody's opinions. We'll share them. We'll talk about things as we go. Thanks, guys.